So please bear with me. And if I don't mention you, it's just because I forgot. I didn't want this to go on halfway through the Carson Anderson show. Bernie Smilovitz brought me here to be his producer at Channel 4 from Washington and remains a great friend. I was introduced to Mitch Albom, who put me on the air in 1988 with the Sunday Sports Album on WLLZ. We also lived together for about 7 years with my buddy Ken Droz. We were 3 guys and a dog, and we weren't gay. That's what we always said. Not that there was anything wrong with it. I owe a ton to Bernie and Mitch for all of this. Many people have been important in my career, but they helped lay the foundation. I would like to thank the PR and SID staffs of the teams that had to put up with all sorts of stuff over my career. I can't mention you all, but I do want to highlight Kevin Grigg, the late Matt Dobeck, Todd Beam, Bill Keenest. We had wars. Eamon Reynolds and his great Lions crew, Solomon and Ellie and Greg right now. They do an amazing job. Ron Colangelo, the great Bruce Motti, who is just a legend in this town, Dave Abloff, Mex Kerry, and Chad Crunk. The teams that I was fortunate to cover through championships, heartbreaks, and yes, countless trips to the lottery, and even a winless team. The coaches, managers, general managers I was fortunate to talk to are countless. But I do want to highlight a few of my favorites, and I'm sure John's too. Tom Izzo, he's the best. Dan Campbell, Larry Brown, A.J. Hinch, we had on today, Brad Osmus, Steve Eiserman, Troy Weaver, yes, even Jim Harbaugh, Brady Hoke, friend of the station, Greg Campy, and the Hall of Famer, Jim Leland. And I also, although he's not a coach or general manager, I do want to mention Mike Tirico for always being there when we needed him. The support from the television stations have been overwhelming. I'd like to thank all the sportscasters who were okay with putting this mug on TV. Dave Llewellyn, Tom Lydon, Brad Galley at Channel 7, the late Don Shane, and to Dan Miller and the staff of Fox 2 Sportsworks. Thank you for letting me be a part of your wonderful show and taking Jamie's place. I can never take his place, but thank you for that. To my WDFN days, working there was incredible. Thanks to Lorna Gladstone for hiring me, Greg Henson, and the great Rona Danziger for running the show until corporate America took over. I got to work with legends like Art Regner, Dave Pash, Matt Derry, Albert Dale, my great friend Jennifer Hammond, love you, Hammer, John Bloom, Van Earl Wright, old Shep as well. I finally got a taste of corporate America when Cheap Channel fired 2,000 people in January of 2009. Thankfully, I had a great agent in the late Mike Novak, so I was still getting paid. And it was December of 2009 when Jimmy Powers and Debbie Kenyon decided to take a chance on a 51-year-old hunchback and offered me a job. And it has been a wonderful 15-year run, nearly 15 years. There are so many people to thank, including Debbie and Jimmy. Thanks for putting up to me. And I'm going to forget some people. So to the sales staff, led by Pete Kowalski, who I've known since the DFN days, thank you for your support, especially Andrea Ferreira, Bob Turner, great popcorn, Jeff Lasser, Jen Ludo, and all the others. Thank you. All the advertisers who, for some reason, wanted me to pitch their products. I could never understand that. Thank you, especially the long-timers, Derek Stevens of the D and the Circa, and the longest of supporters, my great friend, Harry Glanz of Capital Mortgage Funding, along with Dan Burke. I can't thank you enough. Thanks to some of the people that have helped me in other ways, Morton Meisner, Jim Dwarman. Thanks to Cheryl at the front desk and all the engineers and the traffic people here at this radio station. The update people, Tony Ortiz, worked with him for years. What a great guy, even though some of the things, you think I said weird stuff, man. Some of the sports takes he has were crazy. I love Tony.
That's why he's in news now.
That's right. Jeff Lesson, Chris Villar as well. To the programming staff here at 97.1, I can't thank you enough for making me feel at home. Doug, Gator, love the crosstalks. Kang, love everybody. Mike, Enrico, looking forward to filling in for you guys as well. Hatchet, who I didn't find out till a long time ago that Hatchet grew up listening to me and Wojo. Terry Foster, Sully, Roberto, Kenny, been a great addition. Yes, the book, Pat Caputo, who I did my first shift here at 97.1 The Ticket, when he said, "Hey, Stoney, I want to teach you about radio, Tom Bigby style." Okay, thanks, Pat. Dan Leach, Say what you want about Dan Leach, one of a kind. When he used to work up until 6 a.m., seeing him in the morning is like smoking out anyway. Bogey as well, Brian Chapman. Everybody, thanks for putting up with my lingering. I do want to single out a few others who don't get enough attention. Jeff Rieger. He's the hardest working guy in the world. Thank you for all you have added to the shows I've worked on. He does everything. Evan Jenkins. Evan is the jack of all trades. He does everything here. He does the podcast. He does the web stuff. He's a great person, and he's a pretty damn good golfer, too. And he's going to be a great father. Evan, thank you. The Birchie kid, Will Birchfield, thanks for writing great stuff all the time on our interviews that we do. And what would our life be without Lori Haddad? She does everything for this station in promotions. She works her butt off. She puts up with my ticket requests all the time for my family. She always smiles. You are the best. Pause for water.
You all right over there?
Yeah, so far. Got halfway to go. My producers, Greg Hargrave, has been a part of my 97.1 life for about 13 years. He started as an intern in the old building, talking to himself while screening calls. Most shows need two people to do what this guy does by himself. He is a savant when it comes to college hoops and other sports facts. Our shows would not be the same without you. Plus, I'll always thank you for going to my twins' bat mitzvah service and not just the party. The Gov, Tom Milken.
I didn't go to that.
That's okay.
Apparently you were busy.
The Gov was a producer of the Stoney and Wojo show, as you know, the Stoney and Bill show, Jamie and Stoney, and, of course, Stoney and Jansen. Gov, your passion for our shows is something I can never thank you enough. Yes, you scream at us. We bicker constantly, but that's what couples do. We have lasted longer than many marriages. We've been together through thick and thin.
We did separate for a little while.
Yes, I know. We did. That wasn't by our own doing.
And then we
either.
got back together after counseling.
Yes, we've been together through thick and thin, and it was worth every minute. Thank you.
Love you.
As for radio partners, Rob Parker was the first. I loved working with him, the original Odd Couple, the old Jewish guy in a black man's body. A great guy who has gone to great things and is still a wonderful friend. Thanks for a great start. And then came Wojo. It was the most fun I've ever had in radio. We did brackets. We did People Are Stupid, What's Your Beef, The Pyramid, all the stuff that you heard in the montage. And, of course, Wojo Damas. Yes, there were times when we never knew when you would show up, but you were the star of the Stoney and Wojo show. You named my kids Jasmine and Miranda. You called my wife lovely and talented, but most importantly, you're a great person and a great friend. I can't forget Bill McAllister and Sarah Foraker, my original crew at 97.1. Bill is Detroit. He's funny, smart, and creative, who I enjoyed working with for over half a decade. By the way, if you ever run into him, ask him to do his Louis Delmas impression. Sarah, what a voice. A radio star. Thank you for putting up with the boys club. Jamie Samuelson was the man. Way smarter than me. We shared a dark sense of humor that most couldn't understand. He was my friend since the day we met in 1994 until his passing over 3 years ago. Jamie was good to everyone. He cared about everyone. I know I would frustrate the hell out of him a lot, but he rarely showed it. I miss him every day. I walk into the studio appropriately named after him. I always love you. Heather, thanks for putting up with my sick sense of humor. Your vibrancy makes most mornings more tolerable for me and, more importantly, our listeners. I apologize for having zoned out during your news occasionally. We missed you when you were away, but it's obvious that you are turning into a great mother. John Jansen. I hope our time together has been as good for you as it has for me. We'll never agree on many issues, but at least it proves to me that people with different views can still be friends. I thank you for your obvious football acumen and what you have brought to this show. Interviewing Harbaugh with you each Monday has been a trip, to say the least. I'm sorry if I put you in some uncomfortable position and when it comes to my favorite college football team and their transgressions. I guess I need to learn to let it play out. And you need to, and also you need to, yeah, I forgot that I had to let it play out one there. The one thing I'll miss the most is making you laugh. You have the best freaking laugh in Detroit.
Not many people could make me laugh like you. So thank you.
Thanks to you, Lisa, and your kids for all the love. By the way, I do want to mention what begins on Monday. I'm going to Boca for 10 days, but the Costa and Jansen show will kick off. I appreciate all the people who say they're going to miss me. The mornings will not be the same, etc. But I encourage everyone listening to continue to do so. Jim Costa is a talent. He knows his stuff, and more importantly, he is a good person. Yes, it will be different, but give it a listen. You won't be disappointed, and please let the show develop. Judge a show in 3 to 4 months, not 3 and 4 days. Water break again.
Let it play out.
I'm parched. All right. It would be remiss if I didn't thank my longtime friends and family. Many who have listened via the internet or app for the years. First, my parents. As many longtime listeners know, my father would call the Stoney Wojo show and sing the Penn State fight song before countless Michigan-Penn State games. He would listen constantly and always wore his Stoney Wojo Radiothon shirt until he passed away at the age of 96 this August, like 2 days before he was wearing that shirt. My mom loves running into people from Detroit and says, "Do you know my son?" Thanks, Mom. There's also a member of my Philly family that has gotten legendary status. That's right. You might have heard her earlier today. I lost my place. Lisa Stone Velasco. I can't thank you enough.
Anytime.
I can't thank you enough for your support. She listens constantly and will text during the show. Thanks to the AU boys, in particular TK and Rich Wolfer, for listening almost every day. Yes, I took Rich's shoes and drove around Indy for 3 hours. Also want to thank Goldie, Zakes, Tribal Council, Pickleball John, the TAM crew, the Board of Loves, the West Bloomfield football program, Matt Riley, Jeff Sakwa, my sister-in-laws, my brother-in-laws, and all my great nieces and nephews. I can't look here. To Cindy, I can't thank you enough for all your support and love. I'm sorry I might not have been the most attentive husband, and I'm sorry so many people got to learn what Saturday night meant to us. Especially my kids. I love you. Jessica and Marissa, I'm sorry I missed a lot of your activities, and I apologize. I'm so proud of you both. Jess, you are a rock star. I don't think I appreciated your equestrian excellence enough. You'll be the best accountant out there. Marissa, I love that you love sports, especially football, and working at NFL Films, which is your dream job, brings me joy. Finally, I want to thank you, the listener. It's unfathomable that you've been with me for all or parts of 31 years of sports talk radio. Thank you for making me a part of your life. My favorite part of this job is interacting with you, even when we disagree. I love talking to people at games, restaurants, and bars, and all over the state. I am somewhat sad that I will not be on the air every day, but I know that sadness ends when there's no freaking alarm at 4:30 in the morning. I will be back filling in over the station beginning March 1st. I'll still be doing Lions postgame next year and various podcasts, so you won't be rid of me yet. Once again, thank you so much for allowing me in your world, and most importantly, in a world and country with so much antagonism. Do me a favor right now. Just be nice to one another no matter what. Thank you very much. We'll finish it up next. 97 won the ticket.